Welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today, we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys are spamming that like button, hitting the share so other people can spam that like button. As of the time of recording, Bitcoin currently sitting at $90,843. We can check over at the fear and greed. We've been in extreme fear, aka under 30, for 34 consecutive days. Do you know how long consecutive is? It means one right after the motto. That's Cat Williams, the GOAT. Shout out to the GOAT. 34 consecutive days. This has not happened since 2022. From FTX, June, Luna. Nope, not even FTX. So this was August of 22 through. Did we get out of there? Yes. So this has never happened. 34 consecutive days being under 30. Because even in the bear market, we had moments of popping out of there. So very, very insane. The big thing is we now have 1 day, 19 hours, 41 minutes, and 12 seconds until the Fed will most likely cut. 87% chance of 25 basis points cuts. And the Fed has also officially switched away from quantitative tightening to being neutral. And the big thing in the charts is continuing to put in higher highs, continuing to put in higher lows. I put this out on my video this morning. I said that the volume was higher. I was looking at the 5 hour. So in a 5 hour moment of time, it was higher on 1010 crash. The daily volume profile, however, on the day was higher than 1010. In fact, this, like we've been talking a lot about, this was November 21st. I said was the highest volume ETF day ever in recorded history. So what does that mean? So, you get record levels of volumes. You get them at tops and you get them at bottoms. Like, look, we can see right here, the Japan rate cut was the highest volume day that we had. And if we zoom out, we can see, right? So this was a huge day and the biggest volume profile day that we've had last 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, almost. I guess this Friday will be 3 weeks. On the 21st, this was the highest volume day that we've had since the buying climax. Like you can see it over here. If I show you, the highest day since the buying climax, which was right here, into the distributional top. So you see, again, you see high levels of volume at tops and at bottoms. Okay, it shows you real smoke to the fire. That is this rally with volume. If we had a rally with no volume, I would be concerned. But this volume that came in 2 Fridays ago was higher than what we got on 1010. What does that tell us? That tells us this rally has real smoke to it. There is real smoke to the fire that is this rally, and we have put in multiple higher lows, 3, if this holds now, 3 higher lows and 2 higher highs. The next big thing is going to be testing 95.9 thousand, and then I imagine that that's going to be a bit of resistance. Now, with the Fed speaking, there's going to be crazy amounts of volatility for the next couple of days. Be very cautious when you're trading. There's going to be liquidations up. There's going to be liquidations down. There's going to be fake outs up. There's going to be fake outs down. It happens every single time, but it'll be much ado about nothing. By the time it's all said and done, we'll get our real move out of here. The thing that continues to play out, gold is continuing to not make new highs and rotate, starting to roll over a bit here. Let's see if we can take out this low over here, 41.63. Continuing to see rotation of capital taking place as silver is continuing to rip higher. By the way, on silver, we have a clear bearish divergence on the daily chart. High here, new high, comes back down. RSI way lower. This is a clear bearish divergence, and it's showing rotation of capital. While all that is taking place, we see the Russell is literally at an all-time high right now with lots of volume. So we'll see, is it going to break out or is it going to get rejected? Those are literally the only two options. But we know in order to have things pick up in crypto, the last thing that happened August of 20, gold topped. Then November of 2020, of course, the Russell started to make an all-time high by, well, I'll just show you the last run. So August of 20, gold tops. November of 20, the Russell puts in a new all-time high. From November of 20 until March of 2021, Bitcoin was already had a crazy run and already was at 58,000 from March of 21 until November when the Russell was in distribution. That was the rally from literally every single thing else. So that is my thoughts on the market. I'm going to be the key to the castle, the entire puzzle piece. The entire puzzle is going to be the Russell 2000. And I think we're going to get our answer this week. I think we're definitely going to know before Christmas, but I think we're going to know this week. And when we look at the candles right now, this is stronger. Like, even though it's not technically a new high yet, this is a new high as far as the strength of the candle. This is a new high. So we'll see. But this is the next thing that we need. We need the Russell to get into a new all-time high. That is the thing that is different this time. That is what is literally what is different, that has not taken place, that took place in 2017 and took place in 2021. And that is both of those iterations before anything happened. And I'll show you real quick. Before literally anything happened, here is the total 3 on the bottom. And then I'll show you the Russell. So if I show you, here's the new all-time high. Let's line it up perfectly here. November of 20 is the all-time high. Look at the total 3. Dead, bro. Dead. Nothing. Nada. Bear market lows. November of 20. Whoops. November of 20. New all-time high. The total 3 was absolutely dead. There was a nice rally into the buying climax, but when we look at the buying climax into the upthrust, UTAD, that was, when you scroll with the Russell and look at the distribution, that was the entire rally. Okay? That was the whole rally. How about 2017? Let's look at 2017. It's better to do the total in 2017, but still breaks out into all-time high. That's when the rally took place, because the total 3 was in infancy. That's why I say it's better to do the total, which we will do. It was a baby, but you'll see. Price discovery was the run. Breaking into new all-time highs. That was when it took place. Not before then. Dead before then. Dead. New all-time highs in the Russell. That's when things went crazy in the cryptocurrency market in 2017. And that's when it was a baby. It was just an infant back then. But definitely, clearly in the 2021, you can see. Even in the total market cap, you can see. New all-time high was right here. Pretty close to the bear market lows. Buying climax, you had a nice run. From the buying climax to the upthrust, that was the whole rally. That was the rally. Are we live on YouTube, by the way? Why are you yelling? Because people are not listening. Are we live on YouTube? Won't do anything in the market, though. No rate cut till next year. Who told you that? 87% chance that there's a rate cut. Yo, this is a quick live stream today, by the way, guys. I am running late and I have to go after this. Yes, sir. All right. I just need to make sure because y'all wasn't saying nothing. Y'all wasn't saying nothing. But Bitcoin has already made an all-time high, done multiple exits since 2022. That's true. That's true. And it was the same thing over here. Okay? I am showing you. That's okay. That's a good point. But let's do Bitcoin. So I did the total 3 from 2021. Let's do Bitcoin. How did Bitcoin play? Who was first in the market? Who was first? Who was always first? Bitcoin is first. So look at the difference here between the altcoins and Bitcoin with the Russell in correlation. So here's the all-time high of the Russell right here, November of 20. Here's the first rally until the buying climax. The rally in the Russell was the rally in Bitcoin. That was the rally. Bitcoin had already topped, basically. Obviously, it went a little bit higher. It was at $58,000 here, $60,000. It went to $69,000. So it went a little bit higher, but that was the rally for Bitcoin. The price discovery into buying climax, that was the rally for Bitcoin. But when you look at everything else, like the total 2, like Ethereum, like the total 3, we'll just do Ethereum as representation of literally every other altcoin. Here's the buying climax. Here's the new all-time high right here. Here's the buying climax, and then look at the rally. Look at the distribution that took place. Bitcoin is first. So Bitcoin's already had a good rally. Guess what? Even if Bitcoin recovers and makes a new all-time high, it's not going to do anything spectacular. We're talking maybe we're going to 140. Maybe. Evening ski. Says I have land and houses on the market. I got the information a couple months ago. Okay. A lot's changed in a couple of months. I don't know, when was this? Like 2 weeks ago they had it at, they were not going to cut. 2 weeks ago. When was this? Yeah, like 2 weeks ago it was 50-50. Lots of information has changed in 2 months. I'm telling you that the thing is the Russell. The Russell is the key. The Russell. This was all of altcoins rally right here. The distribution, aka the rotation of capital from the Russell going from price discovery to buying climax into UTAD. This was the rally. And what we are right now is we're flirting with a new all-time high right now. I'm not saying we're going to break into price discovery and then go into distribution. But if we are right here. That's where we are, is flirting with making a new all-time high right now. Again, I am not saying that that's what the Russell is going to do. But what I'm saying is it's at an all-time high and there are only 2 options. There's breakout into price discovery or get rejected. That's it. Here's what happened the last time we went into price discovery and distribution. And if that's what's going to happen, here's where we are on the structure. When alt season timeline, when the Russell breaks into price discovery and goes into distribution, that is when alt season will take place. I don't know when that's going to be, but that's when it will take place. Hit the likes. Good on YouTube. Ski still buying VeChain. I'm still buying VeChain. VeChain's one of the only altcoins I'm buying at these prices. HBAR, the other one. Obviously Solnic. I think I'm gonna add Dent and Flux to my spec plays, and then round it out with a nice even 10 coins. But it's gonna be like 70% Bitcoin, VeChain, HBAR, Solnic, Link, Dent, Flux, Dynex, and then that'll be my crazy 8 until we make a new all-time high. And then I'm still holding other stuff, but that's what I'm accumulating here. I'm still holding other stuff, like XRP is a hold, Solana's a hold here. Like a lot of things are a hold, but what I'm accumulating right now, those are the crazy 8. Dent low-key has the same setup as XRP potentially. I've been looking at the Dent chart. It potentially has the same setup. Well, so we'll see. Like, that's a speculative play, right? That's a higher risk play for sure. But that's what I'm accumulating here. A lot of things are a hold. Like, a lot of things are fine to hold here. But that's personally, and I'm not telling you what to do, that is personally what I'm accumulating here. A lot of things are holds. Like XRP is a hold. It's neither a buy nor sell. It's just hodl through. But those are my crazy 8, what I'm accumulating. I like Rose. Rose is a hold. Think alt season will be in 2026. Eli, I don't know when it will be. I know what will happen first, though. What will happen first is the Russell will break out into a new all-time high, which we're here. We're at an all-time high. So the thing that needs to happen is the Russell will break out into a new all-time high and then go into price discovery and then go into distribution. Alt season took place during the distribution. So if, let's just say, listen, there's two options. When you're at an all-time high, there's two options. Either we're getting rejected or we're breaking out. That's it. Those are our options. Okay? So if we are right here at an all-time high, about to break out, this is when alt season took place. Now, I don't want to give you false hope because the Russell needs to break out and go into price discovery and go into distribution. But potentially, we're flirting with an all-time high right now. So we'll see. Does it want to break out or not? Does it want to break out or not? I don't know. It's not me. It's some new Eli. It's the other Eli. Link is I think Link's a buy. For me personally. And then like all the other value plays are still a hold. It's still a hold, but those are the ones I'm going to be focusing my dollars on. And I'm not telling you guys what to do. I'm telling you what I'm doing. You know. But right here is the same. So this fractal right here is from the C19. And I've made the case many times that it is the exact same setup that we've had. So you'd say that the tariff was our C19 on the Russell, same structure. And then potentially this is where we're at. Potentially we've just gotten our higher low. Potentially we're about to get a higher high. And then potentially we get another higher low before breaking out. So if we're continuing to follow this fractal, which it's pretty damn close. Like it's about as close as you can be without actually copying. This is where we're at. And this is the point when it started going crazy. So we'll see. This isn't a one-for-one time, but just looking at the structure of how this is playing versus how it played over here versus what actually happened. XRP going on a huge utility run. I'm cool with my XRP bag. Bitcoin looking good on the daily chart. I agree. Higher highs, higher lows. And again, like there's real smoke to the fire that is the rally. Why do I say that? When you look on the daily chart, look at the volume. The volume tells you the truth. This bottom over here, whether it's the bottom or whether it was a local bottom, the highest volume that we've had since the Japan fiasco. And also since the buying climax. So you get high volume at bottoms and tops. So the fact that we had the highest volume day that we've had in over a year tells us something is at play here. That doesn't mean that it's the bottom. And in fact, if you were to do my base case, which would look like this, we would rally to 100K and then roll over, and we would have less volume even though we were at, say, 75K, come back up and come even lower to 73 and have less volume again. That would be clear, like, hey, accumulation is done. But either way, I think we're rallying to 100K. But the question is, are we going to look like this or are we going to look like this? I'm not sure. But this volume tells me that there's real smoke to this fire that is the rally. Whether it's a dead cat bounce rally or it's a V-shape recovery, we are going to find out. But there is a rally that is taking place. And in my opinion, minimum, it's going to 100K. Are we in the bear market? If we are, it's 80% done. If we are, this is what it's going to look like. We've already gotten our buying climax or selling climax. We're going to rally to 100K, roll over to 77K, come back up and roll over to 73K, and that's it. But the violence is 80% done. The time is 80% done if we are. Says I'm shaving my back. Says Minaj had an imposter on Telegram. You made it, bro. You made it out the slums. Damn, no alt season. I didn't say that. I just painted a picture of how we get an alt season for the last 20 minutes. I'm answering the question. Are we in a bear market? I'm saying if we are, this is what it looks like. I'm not saying we are. What is the stipulation? What is the prerequisite for an alt season? I'll tell you. The Russell must break out into price discovery and then goes into distribution. Okay, so here is when alt season started. The first thing that happened, gold topped. Okay, I think that happened. So gold. So let's recap what happened in 2021 that caused alt season. What were the stipulations leading up to that? And we're not talking about 4-year cycle or anything like that. We're talking about what are the actual things that happened. Number one, August of 2020, gold topped. Okay, so I think that gold has already topped. I said that I'm selling 40% of my gold at $4,400. And I have video evidence of that, and I have tweet evidence of that. It's still here. We have not went higher for a single second. This was October of 2017. Or excuse me, October 17th, 2025. So it looks like we're doing distribution. Distribution could have a new high. All that's fine. All that's fine and good. But we haven't made a new high. So August of 2020, gold tops. Then by November of 2020, you start getting rotation. And what took place November of 2020 was the Russell 2000, which is a signal of risk on assets, puts in a new all-time high right here. Then goes into price discovery, had a nice rally. Alt season was distribution of the Russell. So from the buying climax, March of 2021, through the upthrust, UTAD, November of 2021, that was the rally. But the first thing that happened was gold topped. Okay, check. Then the Russell put in a new all-time high. Maybe, not quite. Then it goes into price discovery. Perhaps, we'll see, question mark. Are we going to go into price discovery? Question mark. We'll see. Then it goes into distribution. Question mark. During the distribution was when alt season took place. And I will show you the total 3. We'll just show Ethereum. We'll show the total 3. So here's the total 3. All right, so first thing that happens, again, let's recap. August of 2020, gold tops. You can't even see anything, but the total 3 was bear market. Bear market lows, okay? Then fast forward, November of 2020, the Russell puts in a new all-time high. Same thing, November of 2020, the total 3 is dead. Bear market lows. Dead, dead, dead. Then we go into price discovery for the Russell. You can see from the all-time high until price discovery, there was a rally that took place in the total 3. That's a nice rally. Things definitely started to wake up from that point. In fact, it was about 175%. Definitely, if we got 175%, people would be pumped about that for sure. Okay? But now, I want to show you, here's the buying climax. I have it circled. You can see it at the bottom, and I'm on it right now. From the buying climax till the UTAD. That was the entire rally. What is this? This is distribution. This is rotation of capital that was taking place. That was the whole rally. That was the rally. So, stipulation number 1, gold needs a top. Check. Stipulation number 2, Russell needs to go into an all-time high. Check. Stipulation number 3, Russell needs to go into price discovery. Question mark. Stipulation number 4, Russell goes into distribution. If you go into price discovery, you go into distribution. During distribution is when alt season take place. I'm not telling you that the Russell is going to break out into price discovery and then go into distribution, but what I'm telling you is it's at an all-time high presently right now. And we'll see. My gut feeling is we're going to put a slight higher high, then we're going to put a higher low before breaking out. That is my gut feeling. But time will tell. Says, are we in a bull run? Are we still in a bull market? I'm confused. We're in a bull market unless the Russell gets rejected and then puts in a lower low. Until a lower low gets put in for the Russell, we are still in a bull market. Until that happens, we are still in a bull market. Says, bro, ain't no way. Says, I got my volume at 98. I can barely hear you. Oh, man, it is low. What in the world? Wait. Can you guys hear me on YouTube? Hold up. Test. What in the world? Can you guys hear me? I don't see this at all. Test. Huh. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. You good on TikTok? I'm watching on Nintendo Live. Damn it. It's not showing. It's not showing on my OBS. I think I need to restart my computer. Good now. It was low. It's fine. Okay, thanks. You're clear on TikTok, not on YouTube though. What should I put 4K into right now? I'm not a financial advisor. I can tell you what I'm accumulating right now. That's it. I'm accumulating Bitcoin. I'm accumulating HBAR. I'm accumulating Solnic. I'm accumulating Link. I'm accumulating Dent, Flux. I'm accumulating VeChain. That's my crazy 8. A lot of stuff is a hold right here, but those are the ones I'm most interested in right now. Sound is good. We scootin', fixed it now. All right, great. I think I do need to restart my computer. It's not registering on my OBS. So I'm glad you guys can hear me, but it's not showing me that you guys can hear me. VeChain is trash. Then sell it, bro. You don't need... I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm telling you what I'm buying. Short it. Short it. Arrow has too much inflation for me. Way too much inflation for me. I think it's a fine product, but I don't think it's necessarily a fine investment. I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm telling you what I am buying right now, presently. They also told me that XRP was trash for many, many years. People correlate price to trash. And then all of a sudden XRP was trash for 5 years until it wasn't. And what's the one that just went crazy? What's the one what's the one coin that was going crazy the last few months when everything else was dead? What was it? Yeah, Zcash. Same thing was said about Zcash. Zcash was trash for 5 years. Nothing for 5 years, and then it makes an all-time high, and all of a sudden it's great again. That's how people feel about stuff. It's like, if it's all-time high, then it's great. If it's not, then it sucks. So that's how that goes. Like nothing on Zcash for 5 consecutive years. Trash, dead, nothing, dead, nothing for 1,198 days. I don't know how many y'all can wait 1,198 days, but that's how it goes sometimes. But there's a lot of stuff that's trash, that's boring for 1,000 days until it does a, 15x in a matter of 52 days. So that's how the cookie crumbles. Sorry guys for being so quiet on YouTube. What do you believe hit $1,000? What are you talking about? I like Theta. GRT has too much inflation for me. Do I see it? Do I believe it'll hit $1,000? It's possible. I mean, it already... I don't know what the market cap was. This is the thing, because there was inflation on this. This is real volume over here. The highest volume ever was right here. So this is a bearish divergence. And realistically, so I don't know what the inflation on Zcash is. The price discovery, though, is $500. I mean, that's pretty close. When you look at Fibonacci's, y'all say Fibonacci's don't work. I mean, that's pretty dang close. It just took a long time to get there. So can it get to 1,000? That's the 2618. I don't know what the inflation is. Sure. Like if the rest of the market rallies, I imagine it will. But I'm not interested in buying Zcash here. I was just giving an example of something that was dead for 5 consecutive years. I think what's more likely for Zcash, though, is something like this, where you have kind of a dead cat bounce. That's probably more likely, to be honest with you. But, you know, we'll see what it wants to do. Maybe to 580. 618, I would de-risk there, just in case it doesn't want to break higher. Because that's what it did in 2021. You had your run in May, and then it rallied into November, but it never went any higher. It only did a dead cat bounce. So I would hedge against that. If you believe in it at 1,000, then sure. Like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you no. But I would hedge for a retrace rally, because that's probably the likely spot. I'm not like promoting Zcash or, you know, saying anything against it. I was just saying, like, here's an example of how this plays out. Like 1,000 days of nothing. 1,000 days of nothing. So that's how it plays out. But people want it right now. That's my money and I need it now. And I'm just saying, like, I've seen this story. It's the same story that XRP told us. The same exact story was told by XRP. Like, this story gets told a lot. And the real projects will make it. And it takes patience. You know, a lot of patience. Like, are you ready to hodl for 1,000 days? I don't know. That's what it took to get a 15x. That, by the way, if you did, that's still way better than even with 1,000 days. That's still exponentially better than the stock market. And again, I don't have a bone with Zcash. I don't own any Zcash. I've never owned Zcash. I don't have any feelings about it one way or the other. But what I'm saying is, like, 1,000 days, like, who actually got that? It was the people that were patient. And I'm comparing it to other real projects that are fundamental, that are, quote, dead. Nobody took security seriously before recently. Maybe. Or maybe it's just 1,000 days of accumulation before markup. You know, you could say that about anything. Like, nobody took international border transactions seriously. You know, whatever. Like, you can make a narrative for anything. But I'm telling you, the same story was told about XRP as well. I know it was. Because anytime I talked about XRP, people were either they loved me or they hated me. They worshipped or they were pissed that are talking about XRP. Like, how dare you talk about XRP? All I'm saying is the same story happened. Like, the same. What is the story? The story is, you know, 5 years of nothing. Like, you had to put it on the 3-day to see the whole chart here. Like, you had a rally in 2021, but my God, it was basically at 50 cents for 2,386 days before it finally did a crazy run. All I'm saying is this is the same story that gets told and told time and time again. By the way, we talked about Dent having a similar setup. Like, I think perhaps, I think a lot of these legacy coins have the same setup of, you know, just nothing. This is perhaps your spring over here. Maybe you just get your relief rally. Even just a retrace to 1 cent would be insane. Where's Bitcoin going? 100K. Why ignoring? I'm not ignoring. Sounds so V-Chain. V-Chain, yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm buying V-Chain. I don't care how popular it is. It's still the same. 10 cents. 20 cents. ICP you could throw in that category. Like, I don't know when, but I know how. But all right, guys, listen, I gotta go. This is a quick live stream. Sorry that it's a quick one. I'm gonna be live earlier tomorrow, 4:30 tomorrow, and then we'll do probably about an hour and a half tomorrow. 4:30 p.m. Central Time. Be there, be square. If you're square, you're not around. I'll try to get into more of your guys' questions tomorrow. So sorry for the short live. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace, love, prosperity. God first, God bless. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. Those are scammers. I'm not going to ask you for money. For the love of God, do not get scammed. Do not redeem. Peace, love, prosperity. God first, God bless.